What's up everyone, Kwame here, back again with another video, and as you saw by the title, today I'm going to talk about why I picked up the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra instead of the iPad mini. For a while I've been wanting the iPad mini because I wanted something smaller that I could take around with me and edit pictures and video on without taking my bigger iPad Pro or even my MacBook Air. And so I've been looking at the iPad mini, and for the price, it's pretty good, but then I thought I had to get an Apple Pencil. It can only go up to 256 gigabytes of storage. The picture quality from the camera on the back and front are okay at best. And also, it's been out for almost 2 years, and so I'm sure they're gonna come out with a new one as soon as I purchase this one. And so instead, I started looking around, and I thought maybe I could get like an Android tablet to replace that. And then I started looking at the Samsung Galaxy Ultra phones. This is a pretty big phone. It's bigger than my iPhone 14 Pro that I'm actually recording on right now. It comes with a stylus, so it has the S Pen built into the bottom here. I can edit pictures and video off of here, but also it has some amazing cameras. So why not pick up one of these phones? And as I was debating between the newest one, the S23, or the last year's model, you know me, last year's model is just as good. Just because it came out last year doesn't mean that it's a terrible model or anything like that. So I picked up this refurbished Samsung Galaxy Ultra S22 on Amazon, up for about $570. I will leave a link down below to where I bought it from. The great part about Amazon Renewed, and I have no affiliation with them, but the great part about them is you have a 90-day return policy. So you have 3 months to try this out. If you don't like it or whatever the reason, you can get rid of it. Now, I'm not going to review this as a phone. I'm not talking about call quality, messaging, anything like that. I'm just talking about why I got this over the iPad mini. And number one is, even though the iPad mini is small, this is smaller. This is quite a bit smaller than an iPad mini, but it's still a great size device to hold in the hand and edit pictures with. So if you're using the S Note here, the S Pen, sorry, you can take it out and edit pictures on it really quickly. I personally don't care for this S Pen just because it's so small and thin. I don't like holding it, and so if I'm gonna edit pictures or video for a long period of time, I went ahead and bought the Galaxy S Pen Pro. This was $80 new. I'm sure you can pick it up used. I got it new, and it's just like the Apple Pencil, right? You have the stylus. The stylus, the tip, the nib is a little bit different, but same feel to me as the Apple Pencil. The biggest difference is there's so many more things you can do with the S Pen on this device that you can't do with Apple products at all. And I haven't even explored that, nor am I going to talk about it, but I will say I do use the S Pen quite a bit to edit pictures and edit video on LumaFusion. One of the really good parts, though, about the S Pen is being able to use it as a remote shutter. So if I'm going to do any kind of talking head video and I want to frame myself up, and I can put my phone up, hit the S Pen, and start recording. Now, I don't see what I'm recording like I can with this using the Apple Watch, but if I had like the Samsung Watch, I'm sure I could do that. I'm not gonna buy a Samsung Watch just to do that, but it has been nice other times where I wanna hold the phone further out, and instead of trying to do the dance of holding the phone one way and then getting my finger back to take a picture, I can just use this as a remote shutter and take the picture. Because the phone is smaller than the iPad mini, I can take it everywhere I go. Quite literally, I can put it in a back pocket or in a sling bag, and this goes with me everywhere I go. So if I want to take pictures, I can do that, or I can edit pictures. If I'm waiting for my kid at baseball or something like that, I can open this up, hook it up to my phone, because you do need some kind of internet service on here for Lightroom. Or you can download them on here if you want to, but I just use Lightroom Cloud, and then I edit pictures off of here. So it's really nice to be able to do that. Having a USB-C port, I can grab my USB-C reader, bring my memory card over, and I can import pictures directly into Lightroom using this, so I can skip the computer if I want to. For me, this really comes in handy if we're just doing like a overnight trip or a 2-day trip. I don't want to bring my laptop with me because I'm not going to really use it. I don't want to even bring my iPad with me because it's pretty big. And again, I don't really want to use it if I'm going on vacation with the family for a couple days. So it's going to be nice to just be able to have this, a camera, and the SD card reader and then bring pictures over that way. For accessories, the only things I've picked up, as I said before, was the pen, the Pro Pen, and this case here that brings MagSafe, so I can use all the Apple MagSafe chargers and my wallet, everything can just go onto here. Now, I don't have this activated, so I'm not using it as a phone at all. It's literally just to take pictures, to edit video using LumaFusion. So the big thing that really got me thinking about the S22 Ultra was the cameras. These cameras will squash the iPad mini cameras in a heartbeat. So you have a standard lens that is 108 or something megapixels. It's combined down to make a 12 megapixel image. So you have your main camera, you have your 3x telephoto camera, you have a 10x telephoto camera, and then you have a ultra wide camera. The thing that you can't get on any other iPhone is this 10x camera. It's a dedicated 10x camera. So you can digitally zoom into 10x on an iPhone, and it looks pretty good, at least on my iPhone 14 Pro. On the screen, it looks fine. It's not great, but it looks fine. Here you have a dedicated 10x zoom. And for me, I would go all the way up to 30 times digital zoom with this lens. And you're gonna get a good picture. Anything over that, they talk about like the 100 times zoom that you can get. If you're in a pinch and it's like a picture of, I don't know, something that's like once in a lifetime, maybe you could use that. But I haven't used that 100 times zoom at all, just other than playing around with it. It doesn't look good at all. But up to 30 actually looks really good. And then if you tweak it in Lightroom, you can get some really good images from these cameras. Are they as good as the iPhone cameras? Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's at this point, we're nitpicking when we're talking about cameras. Both of these cameras and many other phone manufacturers, they have really good cameras. So it's hard to say like which one's better for the camera system. Video, I do think for my taste, the video from the iPhone looks a little bit better, but I use video from here all the time. All right, so this is the front-facing, or the back-facing camera doing what they call video portrait mode. Apple calls it cinematic mode. The great part with using a Samsung device, or the S22 or S23 in particular, you have the pin, which you can use to wirelessly control the shutter. So you want to take a video like this or take a picture, you don't have to get down and dirty in the mud or have to use my watch to start a video. You can just see what I'm doing from here. Now, if I do have a watch, I believe you can frame up your shot. It's kind of like the Apple Watch where you can see what you're doing on here, but don't have one, don't plan on getting one. So right now, I'm just hoping that everything is in frame. We'll see what the microphones sound like. They should sound pretty good from what I've seen. But yeah, this is the back camera, portrait mode, walking, talking. We'll see what it looks like in a bunch of different light too. So I'm walking down a path. There's some, it's like light coming through the trees. So it's not the greatest lighting situation, but the camera or the phone, whatever you want to call this thing, should do pretty well. And this is Samsung's portrait video with the front-facing camera. Obviously, the back-facing camera will look better, but this is no slouch. Full 4K, 30 frames per second. You can't do 24, but you can do 30, so I can match that with my iPhone footage. In fact, I was thinking about how we hear all the time that cell phones have killed the point-and-shoot market, but they also have killed the personal video, like camcorder market. I remember growing up, we had multiple camcorders, like from the really big ones till they got smaller, and when we were having our kid, my mom offered to buy me one, and I was like, oh, that would be cool. But then I thought, well, let me get a mirrorless camera because I can shoot pictures and learn to shoot video with that. And now I shoot all my video with a cell phone. Before it was the iPhone 7 Plus, now the iPhone 14, and with the Samsung Galaxy S22, I shoot a ton of videos on here, and they're really easy to share. And I think video-wise, The iPhone is a little bit easier to at least share video because most of my family has iPhones. And it also just looks a little bit better. But I mean, again, we're nitpicking. Like in a blind test, could I tell the difference between an iPhone video sample and a Samsung video sample? Probably not. They both do cinematic mode, they both have portrait mode. So again, the cameras on these phones, on pretty much any phone at this point, mid-range to high-end phone, you're gonna get a really good camera. So I'm not worried about the cameras, and the great part with the Samsung and this device, you get 4 years of software updates, 4 years from when it came out. So I still have about 2.5 years worth of software updates on here and security updates. And I think it will be fine. These cameras are gonna age very well, I believe. And having the pencil, for me, has just been a game changer. Like this has truly been a game changer in the way that I look at Android devices, because Samsung also has a 14-inch tablet, and that's really interesting. You know, as much as I like the 12-inch tablet that I have here, a 14-inch tablet, bigger battery, I can do all the same things I do on my iPad with Lightroom, LumaFusion. You know, outside of that, YouTube and maybe some other movie channels, but really is like, if I'm editing pictures, I'm using my iPad or now this. And also the screen, I forgot to talk about the screen on here is gorgeous. Like even the pictures and video I take with my iPhone, I like watching them back on this screen because it's a really good screen. And so having this has really changed the way I look at Android. Now, I'm not switching from iPhone over to Android. Like I said before, I use, you know, a MacBook Air. I have an iPad. I have an Apple Watch. Yes, I'm locked into the system, but like I like what Apple does, but I also like what Samsung's doing with their phones and tablets. And I think the unfortunate part is for both Apple and Samsung, there aren't enough killer tablet features that make me say like I'd rather get a tablet over a smaller, or in this case, a very large Android phone, right? That's what it really came down to, right? In the beginning, I said I picked this up over a iPad mini. And the reason why I picked the iPad mini and not like the larger iPhone 14 Max or something is because of the pencil support or stylus support, whatever you want to call it. The iPad mini, I can get an Apple Pencil, a stylus, and use it to edit pictures and video. I can do that on here also. And it really does make a difference. It's more pleasurable to edit pictures for me this way than it is with a finger. And I would love if Apple would allow us, bless us, to use the Apple Pencil on the larger iPhone. You don't even have to put on the smaller iPhone Pro model, but at least the larger one, because this is like, it turns this phone into more than just a phone. Like I can take field notes on here. I have replaced my Kindle, my new Kindle, with this because I can read on here. I can highlight on here. I can mark things up and it's gonna stay on there. If I want to, like I said, take a note, I can do that. I do edit video on here using LumaFusion. It is a little tight to do so on here. So having a bigger screen, you could do that. But LumaFusion is on Android now, so that's really cool. And for me, LumaFusion was the most professional video editing app that you could get for an iPad. And so now that it's on Android and you can use it on a phone or a tablet, why wouldn't you? And so, you know, the more that I use these cross-platform apps, the ecosystem is the only thing that kind of holds me back, but the hardware doesn't matter, right? If I'm using an iPhone or Android phone, as long as the apps and the services that I use is there, I'm good to go. So overall, I'm really happy with this purchase. I think it's probably gonna be one of my best purchases ever, at least for editing pictures, doing a little video work, but just being able to travel light. This is not like a Apple versus Samsung, good versus bad. I don't care. Like I'm really device agnostic, but as someone who's used an iPhone for a long time and I upgraded to the 14 Pro, the one knock that I said about my iPhone 7 to the iPhone 14 Pro is like they both do the same thing. They run the same apps. There's nothing different from them. Whereas with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, there's a big difference. Like I can use a pen on a phone, which you can't do on the iPhone. The 10x zoom is something that you can't do on an iPhone. or any other iOS device. It'd be nice if Apple would, I quite honestly just steal these ideas. Like, this is not a, you know, one is better than the other. Like, these are features that I think people would like, I would like. And, you know, I think it would be nice to have these features on a new iPhone. Probably not the next iPhone, but a new iPhone, at least to start with the stylus support. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about this Galaxy S22 Ultra or me using a phone as a small tablet. I've been using it for about 2.5 weeks now, and I absolutely love it. I don't use it every day. That's the other thing. Most days, I only go out with my iPhone if I'm, you know, just running to the store or something. But if I know I'm going out for multiple hours, I will bring this, even if I don't use it, but it's nice to just have just in case. Thank you as always for watching this video. If you are curious about where I picked up this Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra from, I will have links down below. They are affiliate links, so I do appreciate if you can buy something from using that link, if you're gonna buy something off of Amazon. Like I said before, this is the beginning of hopefully multiple videos, not just about this phone, but like my photography process in general. I'm in the middle of making my Lightroom library much smaller. So I will be coming out with a video talking about that. And if you are going through that, make sure you stay tuned, because that will be I've learned a lot of lessons in going back through my archive. Thanks as always for watching this video. I will see you next one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.